Let's check in now with the now fully vaccinated mayor of Hamilton, Fred Eisenberger. He joins us after getting his second shot this weekend. Good morning, and how are you feeling?
Good morning. Just great, thank you. I'm very appreciative of the great staff at First Ontario Centre and the great work they're doing there to help vaccinate people, make them feel comfortable, and so just fantastic effort on their part, and certainly grateful to be able to get the second dose. And you know what? I'm hoping more and more people will take it on as well. It's very important that we get vaccinated, first dose and second dose, so that we can get back to that normalcy that we got to enjoy a little bit over the weekend. So lots of activity happening in the broader community, more so than we've seen in the past year and a half or so, and that's good news.
Did you get a chance to go out and see any of the patios or enjoy something on the patios this weekend?
I was out and about. I didn't happen to visit one personally, but certainly was out and about over the weekend and did see all the patios just hopping with people, and that's great. That's what we want to see. And as we get more people vaccinated, we can enjoy more of that. And the pickleball courts are busy, the tennis courts are busy. People are enjoying those activities that they like to do on weekends and evenings. So that's exactly where we want to go. And the more people we get vaccinated, the more of that we'll be able to do.
Talking about activity and people getting outside, I was not this past weekend, but the weekend before, walking along the new West Harbour development. I cannot believe what's been happening down there. So much it's really starting to take shape.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very exciting. It's been many, many years in the making, and I think the dream is being realized. The recreational part is, getting well developed. The roads are in, the infrastructures are in, the sidewalks are in, and we're ready for the next phase after the recreational piece has been developed for the housing phase, which housing and commercial, restaurants and commercial activity, as well as about 1,200 to 1,500 residential units. So it's going to be a brilliant recreational, residential, commercial enclave that I think is going to serve the entire city spectacularly well. We have an event area at the eastern end of the port, and of course the whole front end is all public access and going to be dynamic, interactive space. So it's very, very exciting what's happening there.
How long before things before the recreational part of it is finished?
That's intended to be done at the end of this year. So it was obviously held up the last year or so, partly due to COVID, not really, but more importantly due to high water levels. So a lot of the waterfront, water edge work that needed to be done couldn't be done because the water levels were so high in past years. But that's settled down, and the anticipation is that all of that recreational work will be done by the end of the year, and then hopefully we'll be ready to put shovels in the ground for the next phase, which is the commercial and residential part.
And that's how many years out for that?
Well, I would expect that it'll start next year, and it's a multi-year development. So
Right.
it's going to be done in phases. So the first buildings that are going to go up are going to be close to the Guy Street, and then it's going to flow towards the water's edge or towards the recreational side over the years. So I would expect that it's probably a five or 6 year rollout before all the residential components and commercial components are complete.
It's really exciting to see all of that. Moving in closer to the downtown, let's talk a little bit more about the deal with the entertainment venues.
Yeah, another exciting opportunity to not only get a major investment in our First Ontario Centre, the Convention Centre, and the First Ontario Concert Hall, all of them needing upgrades and improvements. That's all going to be done now by the private sector, and at the same time, we're going to be able to save about $155 million over 30 years for the ongoing subsidy that we would normally have to put into these facilities that we no longer have to do. So we're saving capital dollars, we're getting capital investments from the private sector, and we're saving all of those operating dollars that we'll no longer have to put into this facility. So about $5 million a year is going to be saved over the next 30 years. And there's kind of ancillary developments as a result of that, new residential developments along York Boulevard that is also going to be a very dynamic part of the overall precinct development, which is entertainment, new residential, new commercial, all of that happening in the downtown precinct in and around First Ontario and the Convention Centre. So very, very exciting opportunity, and really appreciate the good work of the the Carmen's Group. There's a number of partners in the consortium that have come forward that won the bid earlier on. I think you might recall that we had a bid between the Rancor Group and the Carmen's Group. And Carmen's Group won, and we just finalized the master agreement, and we anticipate that some significant investments will start happening in the coming months and coming weeks and months.
Right. Now, does this mean the city still owns these venues? It's just who's
Yeah.
running them, right? It's
Yeah,
just
it's a
taxpayers won't be
long-term
footing that.
capital lease over 49 years. Obviously, they need that kind of a runway to be able to justify the investments they're going to make. There's about a $50 million investment that's going to happen at the First Ontario Centre, a new facade and numbers of improvements inside the arena itself. Some upgrades, about $12 million worth of upgrades at the concert hall and convention center. So, some of these upgrades were something that the city would have had to do.
Yep.
But because we've made this long-term lease arrangement with the private sector, they're going to be making those investments, and we're going to be saving the operating dollar.
Okay. All good news today. Thanks very much for joining us, Fred.
Thank you. Have a
Okay,
great day.
take care of yourself with that vaccine.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Looking forward to better times ahead.